right, so how to make a mandala using a straight edge or a ruler. So I'm going to still start out with a dot in the center of my page, and then I'm going to grab something that has a straight edge. In this case, I have a book handy and ready, so I'm going to move. Oh gosh, okay, well, it's going to be off camera. But I'm just going to create a straight line right through that center point. Now I missed my point a little bit. This is why you all are going to do yours in pencil. I'm only using marker, so then I can show it easier on the camera. And then I'm going to make basically just a giant plus sign right through that middle piece. And now that I have that, I can go ahead and start making some more lines. You can make as many as you would like. It's just to help you be on a track for this, so then you don't have to worry about, not having something stemming from the middle, which is the main idea behind a radial. So our radial design is going to look stellar because we are using a pencil to create it and make it look real nice, and no one will ever know that we have this underneath it all. So we're going to imagine that is in pencil, of course. I keep repeating it just so then you are continuously reminded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start making my symbols. So let's say I'm making a symbol about myself, and so one thing about me is that I used to play water polo when I was in high school, and so I tend to really like this water design, and there's something to it that it feels really nice to make. So I'm going to make sure that I have a one wave in each of these little markers. And as you can see, like, it's not perfect. That is okay. You are doing this in pencil. You're also doing it without a compass, which, by the way, if you have a compass, feel free to use that. It might make things a lot easier. But if you're using pencil, if you're just using a pencil, you can erase it and you can say, okay, well, this is going out pretty far, so this one actually should maybe come up here, and you can redo it, redraw it. And that one I kind of like this. So okay, so I officially have my water laid down. This is my symbol for water. Bunch of waves, all going in a radial design. So if you remember from the Mandala GABA website, if you draw one thing in one of these sections, the same thing happens in the rest of them. So that's all I'm really doing, just on paper instead of on that website. So trying to find the most sharp way to show this. That's fine. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do each of my symbols in a different color just to make it easier for everybody to see in this video. So let's say I am looking for another symbol to create, and I can't decide. So you're going to go back to your standard one notes, which should have a really handy list where you have written down a bunch of things about yourself, things that you like, things that you know about yourself, and all that fun stuff. So let's say you are like, I really like to paint. So what you'll do is think up a symbol. So I'm going to decide that a paintbrush is necessary for this one. This is another reason why these lines are really nice to have. Just another benefit to doing this method instead of just freehanding it right away. Even though each section might not be perfectly shaped or perfectly the same size. It's pretty dang close. I tried a few other ways too, but this one seemed to be the best one for me. Easiest one to show. So those are just my paintbrush handles. I'm gonna then put in my paintbrush bristles, whatever it looks like. So mine are just gonna be purple, all of them. You don't have to make all of them the same color, of course. Boom, boom, bam, bam. All right, so I got my paintbrushes. Now thinking of another symbol about myself, maybe I decide that I really want to show my love of reading. So maybe I say, okay, I'm gonna make some books. And so what this is that is the book cover and the end cover. And do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it in 4 of them because this marker is a lot thicker than I had anticipated. So I am going to make some pages coming out of the book. So it's kind of like you're looking at a book that's opened, standing up. So from above. So pages. Oh, I said I was going to do 4 books, but I'm doing more clearly. That's okay. It's just a rough draft. I can fix it in my final. So I got my books. I got some waves and I have some paintbrushes. And that meets the criteria right now with like the 3 symbols. However, it looks really plain. So let's do some more. This is not something that I would necessarily give a 3 just because there's not much covered. There's not much to color. So if you end up and you're with your final looking something like this, I might just suggest to you spend some more time on it, add some more to it, add things in the background, whatever the case may be. For another symbol, like right now I am in a room full of plants. I am not the caretaker of those plants because I am not very good at taking care of plants. But let's say I was. I can go in and add a bunch of leaves. So let's say in order to make sure that I am doing the same thing, so everything's coming from the center already, right? Notice that everything is basically pointed at the center, if not directly hitting it. What I'm going to do instead of doing that is similar to how I did these waves where it's going around. I'm just going to take the tip of the wave, so having some kind of reference point, and I am going to wrap this around these paintbrushes and have that come up, and there's a leaf, and there's another leaf. Now, do I have to make every single leaf on the rest of mine look exactly like this? Nah, no way. I'm not about to do that. That sounds like a pain in the booty. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. And I'm going to skip one and, I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to go to the next one. And so I just have to remember to do that for all of mine. So if I skipped one, I have to make sure that I continue that pattern. So I skip this one and move on to this one. Skip skipping this one, on to the next one. Maybe do something else weird, kind of pattern-like. And I'd skip this one, do that one, and now I have my my leaves complete. So now I'm looking at this again, and I'm deciding, you know what? I did skip those because I didn't want it to get too crazy and hectic all around everything. So maybe I decide to add something else into these 4 little sections. So maybe I decide, I mean, I don't think that this is going to apply to anybody, but maybe I'm like, I really love spiders, or Halloween. You can create more lines coming from that center. See how it all lines up. I would use a straight edge, but I am already in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and you can add in spider webs. Now, if I do it to this one, I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm continuing a radial design. I'm not gonna do it in this one, so I'm gonna skip one, go to the next. So I'm gonna, from the center, add a couple lines, and then add in my spider web. And skip one, add in a spider web from the center again. Ooh, that one's pretty straight. Skip that one from the center. Notice that my lines are coming from the center. That's the whole point of radial design, is having that repetition from the center. Okay. Whew. So that looks a lot better than it did 2 symbols ago, right? So I added 5 symbols in mine. I highly recommend doing the same for you. It's going to really help you out in the long run with when it comes to a grade. In order to get a 3, you need 3 symbols. In order to get a 4, add some more. Or really detailed symbols for those 3 that fill up your page. Remember, this is just a rough draft. Mine has color. Yours does not have to have color. I just did it to make it easier for you all to see. Other than that, good luck, have fun, and I am super excited to see what you all come up with.